Good evening and welcome to Shamokin Area High School's 2022 Promenade. Kate Amato, Senior Class President, escorted by Porter Kramer, sophomore. Sadie Kamara, Senior Vice President, escorted by Colin Red, Jr. Cynthia Zhang, Senior Class Secretary, escorted by Craig Kerstetter, Senior. Kayla Harvey, Senior Class Treasurer, escorted by Christian Wislowski, Senior.
Ali Waugh, sophomore, escorted by Brett Nye, junior and president. Olivia Cherries, junior vice president, escorted by Daniel Serrato, senior. Hannah Bayshore, junior, class secretary, escorted by Garrett Kitchen, senior. Yep. Kennedy Kerstetter, junior, class treasurer, escorted by Carter Kramer, junior.
Sydney Rhodes, Shamokin area graduate, escorted by Corbin Craner, Jr. Ariana Nolter, Shamokin area graduate, escorted by Cameron Annis, Jr. Kara Kurtz, senior, escorted by Hayden Kramer, Shamokin area graduate. Kristen Dietz, senior, escorted by Jacob Hornberger, Jr. Kelsey Scott, Jr., and Chloe Coleman, Jr.
Molly Rosnock, junior, escorted by Michael Artman, sophomore. Carly Lubeski, junior, escorted by Scott Snyder, senior. Sarah Stanley, sophomore, escorted by Curtis Lahr, junior. Cadence Bourne, sophomore, escorted by Tyler Wary, senior. Mariah Vitovich, junior, escorted by Luke Sayet, junior.
Brandy Youngkuski, sophomore, escorted by Aiden Swisher, junior. Victoria Felon, Shamokin area graduate, escorted by Blake Lahr, junior. Krista Smith, junior, escorted by Cody Kettner, senior. Gracie Maschuk, junior, escorted by Louis Ebersol, senior. Emily Wary, senior, escorted by Colin Drunkenmiller, junior.
Courtney Castaldo, escorted by Brett Costa, senior. Caitlin Wary, junior, escorted by Jesse Worgan, senior. JC Elman, senior, escorted by Jesse Schultz, senior. Peyton Putman, junior, escorted by Dalton Poet, sophomore. Lauren Knoll, junior, escorted by Blake Harris.
Abigail Knoll, junior, escorted by Brock Nye, junior. Steph Martinez, junior, escorted by Aiden McCulloch, junior. Libby Zahler, junior, escorted by Maddox Romanowski, junior. Nina Wilk, sophomore, escorted by Anthony Feudale, junior. Emma Kurtz, sophomore, escorted by Eric Zahler, junior.
Morgan Coletta, escorted by Dylan Chamberlain, a junior. Brooke Sebasovich, sophomore, escorted by Caden Bowers, senior. Annie Hornberger, senior, escorted by John Kodak, senior. Riley Pencil, Jr., escorted by Jaden McKean, Jr. Sadie Sorosky, sophomore, escorted by Riley Macaluso, senior.
Rosie Roman, sophomore, escorted by Ronick Harmon, Jr. Megan Roman, Shamokin area graduate, escorted by Henry Stevens, senior. Maddie LePay, Jr., escorted by Joey Tarr, senior.
Let's go!
Sarah Hoover, senior, escorted by Aaron Frosch, senior. Madison Waugh, senior, escorted by Julian Steller, Mount Carmel area.
Jada Bird, a senior, escorted by Colton Lynch, a junior. Sarah Allen, escorted by Dominic Deal, a senior. Grayson Nutt, escorted by Carter Smink, a senior. Carly Wynn, escorted by Tommaso Sparandio, a senior. We have Booker Lewis, a senior, escorted by Tucker Snyder, a junior, and also escorted by Francis Senzedo, a senior.
Kaylee Hynoski, senior, escorted by Akia Shartiger, graduate of Shamokin area. Shannon Shovlin, senior, escorted by Cody Brokenshire, senior. Desiree Dangler, Tri-Valley, escorted by Brady Sebasovich, senior. Jaden Brown, senior, escorted by Wade Allman, senior. Selena Lynn, Jr., escorted by Scotty Seghetti, Jr.
Gabby Wagner, a senior, is escorted by Mitchell Knowles, a junior. Jessica Hopper is escorted by John Swank, a senior. Leah Karakoff is a junior, is escorted by Corey Sosnowski, a junior. Hannah Uhall is escorted by Trevor Taylor, a senior. Evelyn Murphy, a junior, is escorted by Dallas Chicatano, a senior.
Destiny Smith, graduate of Shamokin area, escorted by Brendan Rogers, senior. Jaden Shipe, senior, escorted by Gavin Balchunas, senior. Corey Adams, junior, escorted by Gina Carapalucci, senior. Maggie Zimmerman, sophomore, escorted by Santino Carapalucci, senior. Lila Barrett, sophomore, escorted by Knowledge Artist Jones, junior.
Samantha Nicola, a senior, is escorted by Clara Swinehart, a senior, and also Aaron Jones, another a sophomore, sorry. Gabby Sinopoli, a junior, is escorted by Christian Miller, a sophomore. Gabby Thomas, a junior, is escorted by Cole Parfit. Mackenzie Bogetti, a junior, is escorted by Michael Conchis. Bryn Phillips is escorted by Michael Roman, a senior.
Emily Stanton, junior, and Hannah Hess, junior. Samantha Stankiewicz, junior, escorted by Rosalind Kane, graduate of Shamokin area, and Robert Harvey, senior. Kennedy Petrovich, sophomore, escorted by Aiden Krebs, junior. Miranda Pfeiffer, sophomore, escorted by Dalton Wood, senior. Liv Reese, junior, and Isabel Kapuscinski, senior.
Liz Reese, a junior, is escorted by Connor Hetrick, a junior. Samantha Geiswhite, a junior, is escorted by Cameron Smeltz. Iris McCown, a senior, is escorted by Carter Moore, a senior. Riley Norowski is escorted by Gavin Nye, a senior. Emily Meslin, a senior, is escorted by Blake Freiberger, a junior.
Sydney Startzel, junior. And Alexis Zawalik, senior, escorted by Aiden Brocious, junior. Ava Weichel, senior, escorted by Jacob Erdman, sophomore. Madison Hoy, senior, escorted by Marcus Moyer, senior. Lillian Yost, junior, escorted by Travis Feast, Line Mountain.
Lily Miller, junior, escorted by Michael Yankuski.
Southern Columbia.
Izzy Wagner, a senior, is escorted by Brent Reed. Victoria Lindermuth is escorted by Kyan Lee, a senior. Avery Dodge is escorted by Colin Cedar, a senior. Lila Bellis, a sophomore, is escorted by Vance Scheiko, a junior. Mackenzie Adams from Line Mountain is escorted by Dominic Delorso, a senior.
Leah Swilp, sophomore, sophomore, escorted by Hunter Rodman, senior. Maddie Filarski, sophomore, escorted by Carson Osaski, senior. Riley Elio, senior, escorted by Nathaniel Miller, senior. Reagan Elio, escorted by Brian Martinez, Jr. Twin sisters, Catherine Snyder, senior, and Carol Snyder, senior.
Adam Betanez, a senior, is escorted by Christian Medina, a senior, and also Jacob Vasquez, another senior. Leah Wolf, a senior, is escorted by Dade Wilk and also Callie Lar, a senior. Harley Murphy, a senior, is escorted by Courtlee Middleton, a junior, and also Emma Wenger, a senior. Erica Bellinger, a junior, is escorted by Stefan Osby, a junior. Sarah Snavely, a senior, is escorted by Mick Yarnell.
Adele Munson, senior, and Arilyn Latshaw, sophomore. Take your time. Rachel Shuck, senior, escorted by Ethan Luda, Shamokin area graduate. Madison Smith, senior, escorted by Anthony Urick, Shamokin area graduate. Candy Sladisco, senior, escorted by Connor Nye, Shamokin area graduate. Chloe Bainey, senior, escorted by Tacoma Drumheller, junior.
Sarah Vasquez, a senior, is escorted by Infinite Artist Jones, a senior. And Kiana Lee, a junior, is escorted by Jordan McDowell, a sophomore at Shikellamy.
Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the weekend.